Thanks for watching WISD TV. My name is Mary Center, and today we're on the campus of Tennyson Middle School, where we have seen something a little bit out of the Jetsons, if you remember that from your childhood days. Some of these students may not, but we sure do. We've seen robots in action today, and we've got teachers here from this school. We've got Bill Traverner, who teaches technology, and Sherry Prather, who teaches science, and 7th grade science here at Atlas Academy at Tennyson Middle School. And they're going to tell us a little bit more about just what we've seen with a robot and Baylor University. And we'll start with you, Ms. Prather. Tell us a little bit about what we've seen. I know right now all we see is a projector screen on the wall. We don't see a robot here, and we never saw a robot here in this room today. So why don't you explain a little bit about what we saw today?
I wanted to bring speed, which is a lab that we do in 7th grade, 8th grade. They actually start in 6th grade. And because it's a hard concept for them to understand, to actually bring it in and show them that at a college level they're still doing speed and motion and factoring in formulas and math. So they got to actually see Mr. Taverner ran the robot, which moved around the room, and they explained what was going on, the professor, and we got to ask them questions and communicate back and forth. So I was just trying to bring technology and an actual lab at a college level into the room.
Great way to get the students engaged in learning and to help them understand a very complicated subject in an interesting way, I'm sure. And what did you notice from their reactions today?
They were kind of curious. They couldn't figure out what was going on until we explained, hey, the picture is the robot, because they could see it moving up and down, but they didn't quite understand how it was being moved. So that was kind of interesting because he was here. The robot was at Baylor.
Wow. And so Bill Traverner here, he was the man in the hot seat. You were the person actually controlling this robot. Yes. And I think I heard you say her name was Mary.
Yes.
Not to be confused with me, because my name is Mary too. I don't know how she got that name, but you're the one actually controlling her. And so I think the interesting thing here is that it actually gets to put you and your students into a Baylor classroom. Talk about that.
Indeed. I actually just got back from the TCA conference where the virtual field trip was a very big thing. And it's one way for us to take a student without having to bus them to another campus and all the expense that goes with that, but it allows us to take them to a different place and experience what is happening there without us actually having to be there.
So it's not just about learning about robots. It's about actually being the robot and being in that classroom and actually seeing what the other students at the college level are doing.
I think that was one of the biggest, one of the times that I heard the kids kind of gasp out loud is when they actually saw the image of the robot. They were able to take a picture on a phone of the robot, show us the robot, and so you could actually see, and it's it's an impressive piece of machinery. I was very surprised when Baylor actually said I could drive the robot, because I didn't know that was exactly a wise idea, but it's incredibly easy to do. Once we were able to connect with the robot, and thanks to our IT department, we were able to work out some snafus with that. But once we were able to connect with the robot, really, it was a lot like a video game, just driving the robot around. It was extremely fun for me. I wish we could have gotten some of the kids involved with that as well.
I'm sure the kids would think that was fun too, yes. Now, I'm assuming that Baylor is at the forefront of this technology, or do other schools have this?
Actually, it's out quite a bit. One of the things after seeing the robot that we wanted to do was we actually did write an Education Foundation grant to get one. Hadn't been approved yet, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Again, it was an opportunity for us to take the kids out of the classroom without actually taking them out of the classroom. One of the things technology does is it allows you to see and experience things that you couldn't normally experience. And this technology allows us to do that. We really want to kind of expand on this experience. This was kind of an introduction, but we want to expand on it even more and interact with authors, interact with other classrooms around the world, not just in Waco, Texas. And that's kind of one of our goals, at least one of my goals, is in a technology role here on this campus.
Wow. Well, it's a great technology to have here at Atlas Academy and Tennyson Middle School.
Yes.
Do you know of any other schools in Waco or nearby that are also doing this?
Baylor has worked with China Springs and Midway. I want to say that they've done some things with Lorena. So Baylor's very open to letting us use their robot, so which is really kind of a neat thing. And again, one of the reasons I wanted one. I like the toys, so.
Of course you do. Well, we want to talk to some of your students. We have a couple of your students to get their reaction from today. But thank you for your time, Bill Treverner and Sherry Prather here at Atlas Academy and Tennyson Middle School. Now I want to step over here and I want to talk to Nellie Garcia and Gloria Knatzer. I got that right because I didn't call her sister's name Sylvia. Y'all are seventh graders. I want to hear what you thought about being in this classroom today and also participating in a classroom at Baylor University through the robot named Mary.
I think it was pretty neat that we got to come and see a robot going around Baylor and not having to be at Baylor and having a whole bunch of experience and going and just being in a classroom and seeing another classroom and be on a college level.
So what do you think about that? Was it kind of neat to get to be in a college classroom? Did it maybe make you think college may not be that much more difficult once you get there?
Yes, it really made me see that it was something more like really something that we could be doing here at our school, and it was pretty neat to have seen it.
Great. I'm so glad you got to have that experience. Now, when you go home, what are you going to tell your parents about what you got to do today?
Well, I'm going to say we had like a field trip, but we didn't have to go to Baylor. It was really like actually going and learning from a professor instead of just sitting in class. And I thought it was really cool that it was hands-on instead of just like a seminar or something. Like we could actually see what they were doing and with the sound waves and stuff.
That's right. Okay, now there's the bell, so we know we probably need to go to the next class, so it's almost time to go. So one last thought about today. I know you enjoyed it. Tell us what your thoughts were about the other students. Do you think they learned from it, and what will you all take from this?
I think we all really will remember it till we get to college, and we'll see that we really do want to go to college, and we'll enjoy it. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you, girls, for being with us today. I know you enjoyed it, and I know you all need to get to your classroom, but thanks for sharing your experience with us about the robot named Mary. Well, it's a great way, as you heard, to get to be a part of a classroom at a college level and not have to leave your campus and get to play with a little bit of technology. So from Waco ISD's Atlas Academy, Tennyson Middle School, this is Mary Center for WISD TV, where robots are ruling the world.